Southern Sins is a true crime podcast intended for mature audiences. This show contains extreme language, graphic content, and discussions of real-life violence that may be disturbing for some listeners. Listeners' discretion is advised.
Hi, my name's Lexi.
And this is Janice.
And welcome to
The Southern Sins.
We almost got it right.
I said the.
I said Southern Sins.
Yeah, I said
But it's okay. We got this shit.
Yep.
So far.
And there's Copper.
Oh, yeah, and then there's Copper. He's chilling right now. He's on the floor. He's the dog, not a child. Just thought I'd let you know.
So if we yell at him, it's...
We're not yelling at a child. This is...
Dog.
Yeah, and I don't think you could gentle parent a dog very, very much.
He doesn't listen.
I'm not abusing him, I swear.
No, we're just sitting at the table and he'd be getting into the cabinets.
They're child locked, by the way. Just thought I would mention that as well. But anyways, this is a true crime podcast that we have made for, well, obvious reasons. We have a lot of time on our hands. We love true crime.
I have no time on my hands.
I have a lot of time on my hands, and I am finding excuses to hang out with my best friend. So, take it how it is. Anyways, conjoining our love for our friendship and our love of true crime and talking shit about terrible men.
It's Sean Vincent
Gillis.
Yep. I was gonna say Gills.
I was about to. Like, it looks like Gills. But yeah. Anyways,
it's Gillis.
Our episode today is about this douchebag who was born on June 24th of 1962 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to Yvonne and Norman Gillis. Early in Sean's life, his father, who struggled with alcoholism, became abusive. Things reached a breaking point when Yvonne came home one night to find Norman holding a gun to Sean's head, screaming that he would kill them both. Me personally, haven't had that experience.
I wouldn't be going down and murdering several people.
Yeah, no, but I can say worse. Like, I've had bad shit happen in my life. And you haven't seen me kill anybody yet. And I think it just boils down to morals. Anyways, after that, Norman went to a mental institution, and Sean's mother raised him with the help of his grandparents. At the ripe age of 16, Sean reconnected with his father, but the relationship quickly ended after Sean found some intimate photos of his father with another man.
And it doesn't mean happy.
Sean started running into the law in 1980 when he was about 17. Over the years, he would be arrested for traffic violations, DUIs, marijuana possession, and contempt of court.
One of those isn't that bad, but...
No. But, traffic violations, contempt of court, I believe that you should try to get everything that you can settled. Speaking from my own experience, it's just so much easier to get your shit handled. So much easier. Please excuse my coughing. I'm getting over a respiratory infection.
Sound like you have popcorn lungs.
I know, they're gonna use us in one of those anti-vaping commercials. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Anyways, Sean lived with his mother for a really long time. And let me tell you now. He is a grown man at this point. Grown.
Pedophile looking ass.
Yes. On our Instagram page, we will be posting pictures of Sean and his 2 turds of a mustache. And pictures of what he looks like today. I think the most recent...
He does not have his two turds of a mustache today, though.
No, he just kind of looks like if a sad, wet fart could be a person.
Yeah.
But, I think the latest picture of Sean was in 2022. Not entirely too sure. I don't think there was any more recent photos. But anyways, at this point, Sean is old enough to take care of himself. He could get a job. He could drive himself wherever he needs to go. He could fend for himself. He's a grown-ass man. But he chooses not to. He chooses for his mother to support him. But Yvonne had a job come up, and it required her to move to Georgia. Yvonne had asked Sean to go with her, but he refused, and the neighbors reported that after Yvonne left, Sean acted as if he was feral. He would go outside and howl, and he would also bang on trash cans.
He just thought he was a little wolf.
I think he was mad at his mother.
Okay, but why fucking howl?
I don't know. Maybe
Why
he's just
howl
being
and
extra.
bang on the trash cans?
He's being extra.
Not extras. What I saw. Well, we're not gonna say actual names, but we're gonna call her
Ruby.
Yeah, we're gonna call her Ruby.
I was about to say, I'm not even.
And I was over at Ruby's and Deer's house. Ruby's and Deer's house. And she left her purse and her $100 worth of cigarettes and snuff for Deer, and was mad and threw a whole hissy fit like a 2-year-old.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I was a little confused at first. But, oh. We do get distracted. Don't know if we said that in the beginning.
Yeah.
We are like 2 squirrels getting distracted by a little shimmer of light on the road.
Yeah.
Just darting in between 18-wheelers.
Deer in headlights.
Yep. Anyways, oddly enough, even though Sean was out there howling like a wolf and banging on people's trash cans, in March of 1994, he met Terry Lemoyne. They met through a mutual friend.
I wonder if he still howled after they got together.
I wonder, too, because they didn't live together for a hot minute. He would just come over to her house.
I wonder if that's why.
Because he was too busy howling at the moon.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't come over. I'm doing my nightly duties, howling at the moon.
And banging on trash cans.
I'm banging on trash
I'm
cans.
Batman.
I'm Batman.
I'm Bang Can.
Oh my god. I would feel terrible if I was that mutual friend that introduced Terry to this fucking serial killer.
Oh, bro, what?
They met through a mutual friend, dude.
Oh, I know that, but
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Like, bro, what?
I would feel
I couldn't even.
so bad. I would feel absolutely terrible.
I'd be like, oh, well,
bro, my bad.
we both almost got snatched. That's not my fault.
We could have got snatched together.
Told you we'd be together forever.
Oh my god. Okay, we're not making fun of any victims or anything like that in any situations. I'm gonna put that out there right now. I feel like somebody's gonna get mad. Because we got people out there. We got people out there that, you know.
That
Y'all
face.
don't know. Y'all don't know. Y'all can't see me, but she
That
knows.
face.
She knows. Anyways. Terry herself had a rough past with love, but to my knowledge, she was Sean's first girlfriend. I don't think he had any relations in school at all.
They said that he would, talk to females, but he wouldn't interact with females like that. He wouldn't, talk to them like that. He wouldn't go out. He'd go to, school and home and...
Well, I'd seen on some documentaries where it said, like, he was just that one kid who was just there.
Right.
Kind of like...
Right. Unless he was he didn't speak unless he was spoke to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a background character, almost. Just bros was floating around. Anyways, Terry said that the feeling that she got from him was nerdy and safe. Which, I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
Terry
no
also...
way you can be safe with a mustache looking like two turds.
Oh my god. Terry had also told interviewers that Sean was one of those people that you could leave with your kids to babysit.
No.
He looked like one of those people that you would see out in the yard playing with the neighbors' kids, and he just seemed like a big old cuddly bear, is what she said. I do not see it. Maybe it's because I know what he's done. I don't know. But I don't see it. As time went on, Terry got to know Sean, and their relationship grew. She felt the need to test Sean, so one night she started a fight with him and slapped him. Terry said that Sean stomped his foot and said girls aren't supposed to hit boys and boys aren't supposed to hit girls, then ran off to the bedroom and cried.
I feel like he pulled that whole move just to, like, put himself in a good position.
Oh, yes, most definitely. I feel like he
to
did...
protect his
Well, yeah, I think... I get what you're saying. Like, he needed...
his whatever. I can't think of the word right offhand.
Persona? Is that it?
I don't know.
His character?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll go with that one.
Yeah. I mean, I understand.
Very bad at words.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just got so many floating around in my head. I
didn't pass 7th grade, dude. So.
It happens. Shit happens. But,
well, technically I did. I made it to 11th, but, in, like, public school, I never made it past 7th. Then I was in homeschool, and they automatically bumped me up to 11th. And we're distracted again.
Yeah, somehow we were talking about Terry and Sean and got to
shit
high school education.
I don't even know how we get distracted sometimes.
Neither do I.
Keep going.
But investigators had asked Terry how she felt after that interaction with Sean, and she said that she felt safe. But unknown to Terry, Sean Vincent Gillis was not the man that she thought he was.
No. Well, I thought he'd date... No, wait. I almost said dated puppies.
What?
Oh, no.
Oh, no, indeed. Just across the street from Terry's workplace, because she worked at a convenience store, she worked the overnight shift. She didn't get off.
We're going to be working the overnight shift soon, going straight to bed after this.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
It is 1:38 in the fucking morning, and your husband woke me up this morning.
Same. And then you came to my room, and then
your light was on. I was wondering
because
if you were up.
Because he left it on.
I was wondering if you were up.
I was underneath the covers, trying to sleep. No, I was not awake.
Oh, your dog was opening the rest of the door anyway.
I know.
I was gonna let you keep sleeping, and I was gonna lay back down. But you went and moved, and I was like, Lacey, you wanna smoke a cigarette?
Oh my god. But anyways, Terry, she worked the overnight shift at a convenience store. I think it was like a Shell fish. A Shell gas station. And I believe her hours, like, she got off early in the mornings, which early morning, mid-morning, maybe, because Sean got away with a lot of it because he was by himself. during the early morning hours, late night hours.
Yeah, but, I mean...
I'm not blaming Terry at all.
I'm not blaming Terry either, because why the...
It's not her responsibility to keep up with a
Right.
grown man. She shouldn't have to do that. But, anyways, just across the street from Terry's workplace was St. James Place, a retirement home for the elderly. In the same month that Terry and Sean met, March 1994, an 82-year-old resident of St. James Place, Anne Bryan, was found dead in her room during the early morning hours. She was Sean's first victim.
She was also his oldest victim.
Yes, she was the oldest, and
I think she was 81.
She was 82. But I've seen on multiple sources. I don't really know. I'm not 100% sure. A lot of this stuff is wishy-washy, which is crazy because...
There was a lot of stuff, like, when I was looking up certain victims' names, like, I had to scroll through paragraphs about different Sean victims to actually find, the victim that I was looking for, just for it to tell me, something simple. Like,
yeah.
I'd have to go to another source and find out just a little bit more.
Yeah.
But, she was 81.
Well, I just know that she was the oldest, and she was in her 80s.
She was found March 21st, 1994.
Yeah, I just have down in here that it was March, because I couldn't exactly... Oh, yeah, no, I do have it. Okay, hold on. Leave me alone. Anyways, Anne Bryan was found dead in her room during the early morning hours. She was Sean's first victim. Please do not quote me on this, but I may say this author's name wrong. Mustafa Asfa. Susan Asfa, author of Dismembered. The author of Dismembered talked to many people who knew Anne Bryan, and they all said the same thing along the lines of she was very loved and well respected. PSA for anybody who gets a little wigglish, squeamish. I'm not even entirely too sure why you're here, but thought I'd get everybody a heads up anyways.
You know what? I don't know why for a split second I thought PSA means, like, please stay seated. But then I had to put the words right, and it's not even the right spelling for it. My brain is so fucked. Bitch, I am so tired.
Oh my lord.
We spent all day working on this shit.
I know.
We should have done it in the morning.
We should have.
If we don't like it, I'm sure we'll fucking do it.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
If not, they'll just have to hear how we thought about restarting.
Oh, yeah. And, maybe we'll redo the episode one day.
Yeah.
Like, get this one out there. Just redo it. But,
y'all should let us know if we should do a blooper series.
Oh, yes, most definitely. Let us know. You could find us on Instagram. I'm sure we're going to make a Facebook as well, eventually.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll get on more.
Oh, yeah.
Podcast places.
It sounds like we're ending the episode.
Yeah, I know.
But we're just all over the place.
Yes, we are.
But, public service announcement gets gross. Anyways, on the evening of March 20th, 1994, Anne Bryan was expecting a visit from her nurse for a routine checkup. To make it easier for the nurses, Anne had left her front door unlocked and her bedroom door slightly ajar. During the early hours of the night, Sean broke into Anne's room with the intention of raping her. However, Anne woke up and began screaming.
Hey, but, like, before she started screaming, in one of the sources that I watched, it said that she woke up and asked him who he was.
Which, I mean, That's understandable.
Before she started screaming.
That's understandable. I mean, she was expecting a visit from her nurses.
Like, he didn't answer, and she started screaming.
Well, I mean, she was expecting a visit from her nurses, so she may have gotten distorted with, like, time or whatever. I mean, she was in her fucking 80s. So, who knows? But,
And all of his victims get younger.
Well, yeah, I feel like for his first victim, he needed to find someone who couldn't fight back.
Well, his first victim was old, and then it goes, like, from younger to older again. Dude was weird.
I mean, I believe it. I don't think he really had a pattern for, or, like, a specific type of victim that he looked for. But, anyway, Sean panicked, tragically. To silence her, Sean slit her throat and then stabbed her in the abdomen 50 times.
The fact that he had that much energy to stab her in the abdomen 50 times?
I mean, that is a lot. That is a lot. That is an extreme amount. Like,
to stab someone 4 times is a lot.
It is. I was just about to say, like, most people... in an autopsy, you'll see, like...
2 stabs, at most. Because it takes a lot for the... And I shouldn't know this. But it takes a lot for the knife to go into the skin. And especially if there's barbs on it, it's going to take a lot to pull that knife back out.
Yeah, I don't know what weapon he had used. I don't know what type of blade.
He just stabbed her repeatedly 50 times over and over again. And he had to have had enough times... and like enough time to actually stab her that many times.
Oh yeah, I
had
feel
to have
like
taken him at least 12 minutes to stab her repeatedly that many times.
Which I feel like even after she died, he stood there and he repeatedly stabbed her. I feel like it was overkill. It was overkill. It was overkill.
It was his first kill, and he didn't really know what he was doing. He panicked.
Yeah. I believe in an interview.
I feel like we would have did better. I'm so kidding. Please don't, take that serious.
Just jokes. Just jokes, people. Just jokes.
Shits and giggles.
We try to keep it light, because this is dark stuff.
Dark humor.
Yep. And we come from some backgrounds. Gotta make us laugh somehow. Anyways, he had left her lifeless body in the room where her nurse team discovered her a few hours later that morning. The police were baffled, unable to determine any motive or understanding why anyone would want to hurt Anne Bryan, much less want her dead. After a year of dating, Sean and Terry decided to move in together into Terry's house in November of 1995, while they renovated Sean's home, the one that Yvonne, his mother, paid for.
Right.
Terry made it clear to Sean that he needed to get a job and start paying his own bills, since his mother, Yvonne, was still covering all of his expenses from Georgia. To help him out, Terry managed to get Sean a job at the convenience store where she worked at. Sean quit shortly after. Talking about 3 weeks tops. The manager, Susan Zaire, had very few good things to say about his work ethic. He didn't want to interact with customers. He didn't want to really do much of anything. If he was being told to do it, he seemed to have even more worse of an attitude about it, especially if it was coming from a woman. Anyways, Susan Zaire also said that Terry would often make excuses for why Sean sucked at his job. Terry, bless her heart, said to Susan at one point that Sean was just, quote-unquote, too intelligent for the job. Either way, Terry said that the life that she and Sean shared...
That's like saying that somebody goes cross-eyed on purpose.
What?
saying that he was too intelligent to work at the gas station was like saying that a cross-eyed person goes cross-eyed on purpose.
Which I honestly don't know why she said that, because he had never had a job before in his life. That was his first job. Like, how?
Are you intelligent?
Yes. I mean, he graduated from high school and everything. He had a GED. He had a high school diploma. He had everything he needed. But he just chose not to. Anyways, either way, Terry said that the life that she and Sean shared at the time was everything that she had ever hoped for. Terry had dealt, she deals with epilepsy, and obviously epilepsy, some types of it can impair your driving, and she had a type where it occasionally impaired her driving. But that wasn't an issue between her and Sean, because they found it as more time to be together. Crazily, the couple's relationship was going great until Terry's mother got sick and she was put into the hospital. And Terry had, her epilepsy was giving her some problems that week. So she had asked Sean if he could drive her over there to the hospital to see her mom, and he surprisingly told her no. Terry said that after that interaction, they just started drifting apart. Like, he was staying at his computer more often, going to bed later, and he was already doing that, but he started spending more time doing it.
Yeah, and he stayed on his computer 99.99% of the time.
Yeah, and don't forget to mention, he didn't believe in sex.
Yeah.
He, didn't believe in it. Terry had even asked him at one point why, and he said that he was taught that it's gross. It's something that you just don't do. But
mind you that most of his victims were raped and brutally mutilated.
Yes, and not to mention he even had told investigators that if his mother had stayed home, and she were to die at home, they most likely would have found him with her body. And let me tell you, it was not just cuddling in his mind.
There is a recording.
Yes. But, should we play that recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I found the recording.
And manifested itself probably before 10. Behavior that continued with a sexual fascination with his mother. Did you ever think about having sex with her?
Yes, of course. She is not an unattractive woman. Not only that, you see her in the mirror now. I thought if she passed away, y'all would find me in bed with her.
Y'all would find me in bed with her. It was disgusting.
Was his exact words, that he thought that if she died, that the cops would find him in bed with her. That was when he was a kid.
Yeah, like that.
And that's bad.
That's gross. Like, obviously he needed some type of psychological help. Speaking to somebody, probably would have helped change direction a little bit. I don't know. Can't say very much about that. But, fasting, like, going forward, we're shooting to January 1999. A Baton Rouge escort sadly took her last breath. Catherine Hall was 29 years old on January 4th, 1999. Catherine Hall
was 29 years old.
Yeah, she was 29 years old. She was I just prefer to call her an escort in this sense because not a lot was done for her.
Right. She wasn't in it long.
No. She was found under a dead-end street sign, which is
fucked up.
It's fucked up. It's that was Sean's version of a joke, and I don't think
very bad joke.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is laughing with him on that one. Catherine Hall's body was found posed and nude with numerous post-mortem cuttings. Captain Todd Morris with the Eastern Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office later joined Captain Brian White to track down Sean. At the time, they didn't know who it was. And I believe that Derek Todd Lee, who our next episode will most likely be about, I believe he at this time had stricken up a kill score as well.
He was also active around the time, so Sean wasn't, their first lead.
No. They actually got them quite confused a few times. But Catherine Hall's murder didn't get very much media light, but later would be sadly overshadowed by the murder of an attorney's wife and a judge's daughter. Sadly, the third victim of Sean Gillis. And her name is Hardy Smith.
She was 52.
Yeah, she was 52 years old, and from pictures that I've seen of her, she had really nice blonde hair. She just looked good.
He said in the interview that, when he'd go to find the people that he would want to kill.
Whenever he was, quote-unquote, hunting?
Yeah. When he'd try to, find somebody, that it would be, the simple things. Like, for Hardy, it was the way her hair bounced when she went out to jog.
And that's crazy.
Nah, that's crazy.
Okay, it's probably just an acorn. It's one of those things that you just go, oh, well, and then carry on.
No.
Yes. You will never make it otherwise.
We're talking about true crime and the ghosts start acting up. That's not okay.
And we will have stories on
Ghosts too.
Ghosties. Those are probably going to be some of our shorter episodes, maybe.
Hopefully.
Don't know yet. But on May 30th, 1999, Hardy Smith was going out for an early morning jog. Something that she did on a regular. And something that I could advise everyone is do not keep a routine.
Right.
Don't keep a routine. If you are one of those people that like to jog in the mornings, take a different route every now and again. Don't take the same one.
And if there's someone weird following you, don't go home.
Yeah, don't go home. Go to a friend's house. Call,
I don't know. What if they try to murder that friend? If I was...
Call the sheriff's department. You know what? Better safe than sorry.
I was about to say, if I was jogging and someone random was following me, I'm not going to go to your house so they murder you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I was just thinking,
were you going to go to my house if someone random is following you?
Hey, if I'm in the area, probably.
Bitch.
Shit, what am I... I'm not thinking of the police, I'm thinking of my best friend. Shit, I got somebody scary following behind me.
So I think it's weird how he went his first killing in 1994 and then waited for so long.
Well, see, the thing about that is most...
And then killed 3 times that same year.
Okay, because there is a waiting period, there's a specific name for it, and a cool-off period. And
did not cool off very much.
No, he didn't, because whenever he made his first murder, whenever he committed his first murder, he got an adrenaline rush from it, and usually, you will see a break. And I'm surprised that it lasted that long. Because, I mean, look at Jeffrey Dahmer.
We'll do one on him eventually.
Yes, eventually. But, it's crazy how she was just picked out for her ponytail, honestly.
Yeah.
Just,
So,
I can't even imagine that. But, anyway, Sean waited for Hardy to come out of her subdivision, and when she made the turn to go up to the street towards the highway, her normal route, Sean creeped up behind her and struck her with his car. And she went in, down into the ditch, and I believe in one of the interviews, he had said that she had gotten up complaining about her back, and he had told her, "Lady, your back is about to be the least of your worries."
yeah.
Which, can you imagine somebody, hitting you with their car, getting out,
And then saying, your back's gonna be the least of your worries.
because that's fucked up. That's fucked up. But, he proceeded to grab her, throw her in his vehicle, and strangle her.
With a zip tie.
With a zip tie, which you will all soon learn what that name is.
Yeah.
He has a name for his lovely tools. Anyways, like I mentioned earlier, Terry worked the night shift. She went in around probably, I would say 7, 8, maybe get off at 6, 7 that next morning. So, Terry had been at work, and this is all in the same day. Let me remind you, all in the same day. Sean went to go pick up Terry from work, and Terry said that the car smelled terrible. So she mentioned it to Sean. Sean's response was that he had hit an animal, and it must still be some bits on the tire, and that he would clean out the car after he drove her home. But unknown to Terry, that Hardy Smith's body was in the back of the car. Hardy Smith's remains were found in another parish at the end of a canal. That is all of my notes. JJ is gonna take over from here.
November 12th, 1999, Joyce Williams. She was 36 years old. She was Sean's fourth victim, and she was found by a couple of hunters on the side of the Mississippi River levee, about 3 miles south from a ferry. It was 4 years later when Sean confessed to Joyce's killing. Her prosecutor, Tony Clayton, said that he killed Joyce Williams over here, and the people of this parish have to determine whether or not he's guilty of it. So I'm assuming he thought it was bullshit that they had to,
Go to a different parish so he could get prosecuted, because he did,
Well, no, because he killed her in a different parish and brought her and dropped her off in that parish.
Well, I mean, I would want to get his ass wrung out too. I mean, shit, you're dropping bodies in my fucking parish. Shit.
But
I would try to get his ass tried.
Tony also said that his confession had people crying because of the disfigurement of Joyce Williams' body and telling them what happened about Joyce Williams. They said that he mutilated Joyce Williams and even cut out pieces of her skin, 4x4 squares, and, licked it and played with it and ate it. He even tried cannibalism, which there is another recording.
Oh.
Yeah. Very nasty.
Y'all get to hear this for the first time. We've heard it about the 50th time, and I still get
disgusted every time.
Yeah.
And, oh, y'all just have to hear it first.
Taking pictures of the leg, and I literally held and stretched the skin. Like I said, I'm trying to figure out what the hell this was a tattoo of. So after making the initial incision in the leg, I just cut a box around it. Then I find out how much human fat sticks to the back of skin. Okay, getting it off of there was easier thought of than done. And at that point, I look at it, finger it, play with it, lick it, even tasted the fat. This was where I tried a little cannibalism. Okay, human fat does not taste good. I don't advise it. I don't see how anything would survive off of it. At that point, I wrapped it up in a little cloth towel.
So she had a tattoo on her leg, and he cut out the tattoo.
Did they ever say what the tattoo was?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember saying anything about what the tattoo was.
Neither do I.
But he didn't even keep it like he wanted to. He threw it out the car window.
I think it was all about the thrill. I mean...
And the way he sounded excited telling that, just, And I even tried it. That's when I tried cannibalism. Why are you happy about that?
Because he...
that's
it's
disgusting.
Getting the shock value out of the police officers, I believe. I mean... Shit. Ain't none of them seen anything like that before.
Well, a few months later, January 2000, it didn't give a date on this one. It just said January 2000, so she must have been laying there for a minute.
Possibly. That or just records have gotten lost.
Yeah. But her name is
Lillian.
Yeah, Lillian Robinson. She was 52 years old, and see, there's where the age starts spiking back up again. Sean confessed to Lillian once he got caught after his last victim. But he was actually never charged for murdering her.
But he confessed?
But he confessed to it. Lillian's body was found in something Bassin between Whiskey Bay and something La Rose exits. Somewhere in Louisiana. I don't fucking know. Louisiana's got a lot of words. It's a really, really long word. But
we were born and raised here, I promise.
I was not.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were conceived in California and born in fucking Texas, bitch. I'm the native.
Lillian had been strangled and thrown off of a bridge, and the coroner said there was signs of drowning, so she had to still be partly alive with a zip tie around her neck when she got thrown off the bridge. And so she ended up sucking in water, and on top of suffering with a zip tie around her neck, she inhaled water.
Yeah, I like to believe that maybe she didn't feel anything, that maybe at that point her body was just unconscious.
So, we kind of went a little too fast, and I totally just realized that from Hardy there is a recording, but we'll probably see if we can't edit that in somewhere.
Yeah, we'll see. where we can...
If not, then I'm sure we could just, talk about her again.
Yeah. Like I said, we may just try to restructure this video one day.
Right.
Audio one day. I don't know what this is actually classified as.
Sean's sixth victim was Marilyn Neville's.
Possibly.
She was 38 years old.
That's young.
Yeah. She was found October 20th, 2000. She was Sean's sixth victim. Sean was accused of kidnapping her and killing her in Lafayette and then carrying her body to Baton Rouge, where he dumped her body on the Mississippi River levee.
Lafayette and damn Baton Rouge, that's like a good 2-3 hour drive, isn't it?
Yeah.
I want to say something like that.
Well, that's why Terry had said something about, the miles on the car, too.
Yeah, you're right, because... Yep.
And I'm sure we'll get back into Terry because, I have a recording of what Terry thought about living with him for 9 years.
Oh, yeah, she did live with him for 9 years, and that shit is fucking crazy.
But after Sean was admitted to Maryland, he was charged with ritualistic behaviors for post-death ceremonial So
he was tampering with the corpse in a odd, suspicious manner, cultish.
Well,
I believe.
I'm not exactly sure which one, but one of the bodies he took back home and showered with held up her dead corpse.
I want to say that would be the friend that he had murdered, the one that he had even went to Thanksgiving at her family's house.
This is her.
Yeah, that may be it.
If not, it's Donna. I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure it was the friend that he did take home and shower with her.
Yeah.
But he soaped her up and everything. Held her up, and she was just
Our
dead.
information is everywhere because the information on this case is everywhere.
If you actually go to look things up about this case, it does not tell you very good information at all.
But
he was charged with ritualistic behavior for post-death something mutilation. And he did that to Hall. He got charged for that on Hall, Williams, and Johnston. So he brutally mutilated Catherine Hall and Joyce Williams and Donna Bennett Johnston.
Well, yeah, those three he had actually cut off body parts.
Yeah. October 9th, 2003, Johnny Mae Williams, she was 45 years old, and there wasn't really much on her. I mean, he cut her arms off. I'm pretty sure this is another one that he had brought to his house, and quite literally just decapitated her and everything in the kitchen, right in the middle of the floor. And then, mutilated her body, dumped her, and he didn't confess to her murder until after he got caught.
Well, yeah, that's usually how it goes, and they'll apologize too. When you wouldn't have apologized if you wouldn't have gotten caught.
But he was happy to get caught.
Well, yeah, but the whole I'm sorry, I don't mean to be this way type bullshit, bro. You had other options.
So, this one is my low-key favorite one. Not saying it's my favorite like that, but it's low-key my favorite one. There was a lot of information on this one. February 26, 2004, Donna Bennett Johnston, she was 43 years old. She was drunk when Sean Gillis picked her up. She was his final victim, his 8th victim. When he confessed to her murder, he said that she was drunk and it didn't take a minute for her to die. But her last words were, "I can't breathe." He strangled her with his zip ties. And then he staged a crime scene for her. Like his own crime scene.
That's right, because didn't he take pictures and he actually got like a part of
he took
license plate?
He took 45 pictures, and in one of them he got part of his license plate in it.
Talking about
of her in the back
evidence.
of the trunk. Like he took her and he, took pictures of her nude in the back of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
And I said truck. I meant
it's
trunk.
A car.
I meant trunk. But in the back of the trunk, and then he also put her on the ground and took pictures of her on the ground and everything else. He took 45 pictures of her body.
I was about to say.
And then moved her to a different place and dumped her. Finding Donna's body in a field, cops found tire marks in mud and started checking everyone with that specific unique tire. I probably didn't say that word right.
It happens.
I don't supposed to say that word right. But they had over 200 people with that same tire.
Yeah, in the Baton Rouge area.
Which,
surprisingly, it could have been a lot more.
If he would have just bought the tire, 6 months before the 6 months that he did buy the tire.
Oh, yeah, because they looked at. Yeah, they looked in a bracket because them tires, you could look on the wearing of tires, especially in the tracks or whatever,
They were newer tires, and Sean had just got the tires.
Mm-hmm.
But they called checking everyone with them unique tires, and they were also getting DNA from everyone with those tires because under Donna's, fingernails and under...
they had DNA evidence on a couple of the victims.
Yeah, and on Joyce.
He was very, very sloppy.
And,
which, thankfully, he was. I mean, otherwise, he could have gotten away with a handful of stuff with his dumbass excuses.
But they were taking DNA from the other people as well. And it eventually led to Sean. And he got questioned and released because of lack of evidence. And then DNA came back proving it was him.
Yeah, and oddly enough, Terry had stated that that was one of the first nights that Sean had went to bed with her early.
Wasn't on his
computer at all.
Wanted to sit in the living room and watch TV with her.
Yeah, he
wanted to actually spend time with her.
Yeah, he wanted to actually spend time with her, which in my head he knew. He knew he was about to get caught up in some shit.
And I'm sure now would be a good time to probably bring in the Terry talking about how she felt for 9 years living with him.
Yeah, after 9 years thinking that you know somebody.
And then they turn out to be a...
serial killer?
Yeah.
Yep.
Murdered 8 women.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Gillis has a girlfriend, Terry Lemoyne. And Terry says idea why a SWAT team is busting down her door. I'm yelling, what's going on, what's going on? And I look at Sean, and Sean just shrugs his shoulders and says, sorry, honey bunny. And one of the officers turns around and looks at me and says, didn't you know you're living with a serial killer? The whole world came tumbling down that night. It's a seemingly quiet world Terry has shared with Sean Vincent Gillis for 9 years. A long time since Terry, a convenience store clerk, first laid eyes on the shy, quirky Gillis. My best friend walks in and says, Sean, this is Terry. Terry, this is Sean. Y'all have everything in common. You have to get to know each other. Well, what did she think that the two of you had in common? We both loved science fiction. We both loved Star Trek. We both loved collecting things. At first, there's no clue to what Gillis really liked to collect. He was cute in a little teddy bear sort of way. The type of person you'd want to bring home to mom, actually. Really? Yes. Platonic dating leads to Terry moving into Gillis's dilapidated house where things, according to Terry, stayed platonic. Sean didn't believe in sex. What does that mean? I asked him about it one time, and he told me that he had been taught that it was a nasty thing and that he shouldn't do that. Terry still worked at the convenience store. Gillis's only job was picking Terry up after her shift. There's often odd behavior, but Gillis again always has an excuse. One morning he came and picked me up, and the car had an awful odor in it. And I was so tired, and I was like, what is that smell in the car? And he said he had hit an animal on the way picking me up. Came home, I came inside, went to bed. He went to washing the car.
And that was also Hardy that was in the back of the car.
Yeah, in one interview, and I'm sure we'll find it. I want to say he had said that Terry rode in the vehicle with a dead body.
Yeah.
And he giggled.
Yeah, he did. He was like, and that was actually the first time that Terry rode in the vehicle with a dead body.
Hee whatever type shit.
Right.
Like,
he was really happy
he was happy about it.
Like, to get his word out to, tell the things that he had done.
And
Terry also notices guilt.
I would like to believe that Sean did have a carrying bone in his body for Terry, but I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either. I think,
if anything, he used her as a cover-up.
Had to have.
Gillis is racking up a lot of miles on the car. And what's his explanation? Well, I got kind of concerned and wanted to know who he was driving around with. You thought he was cheating? I thought he was. But that's not what he was doing. No. What was he really doing? I found out from the police that he was hunting. Hunting in what sense? Looking basically for someone to kill. Now, 9 years later, surrounded by cops with her boyfriend in cuffs, Terry still can't believe it. When everything happened, I laughed at the police when they told me why they arrested him. You laughed? I literally laughed and told them, boy, do you have the wrong house. They said he admitted it. And at which point my mouth just dropped and I said, well, I'll have to ask him myself. Terry Lemoyne shared a bed with accused serial killer Sean Vincent Gillis for 9 years. But she's convinced cops have her boyfriend all wrong. I never saw anything bad about him. So Terry goes to get the truth straight from Gillis himself. I just walked into the police station and picked up the little phone and asked. I just said, Sean, did you do everything that these police officers said you did? And again, the little thing with the head drops his eyes and says, yeah, sorry, honey bunny, again. And I just got up and turned around and walked out. But Terry isn't the...
as she should.
Right. Because, Terry, she didn't deserve any of that.
No.
And he really could have just been living like a whole double life.
Practically, that's what he was doing. He was sleeping in a bed with a roommate.
Might as well have been.
They didn't sleep together. I mean, they probably ate together, had mild conversation.
Right. Nothing too crazy. Because, like she said, Sean didn't believe in sex.
Nope. And every source says that their relationship was pretty much platonic.
Yep.
He was a necrophiliac. He got off with dead bodies.
Yeah. Not live ones.
No. But, all in all, the douchebag got caught because of his sloppy, techniques.
And his tire marks.
And his tires. We said that we would tell y'all the name of his tool, and he liked to call his zip ties the objectifier, because whenever he used it, it turned whatever woman he was with into an item, is what I had seen on one of the interviews.
Yeah, he said whatever woman I get, it turns them from a woman to the object that I'm dealing with.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what he said.
Other than that, I'm pretty sure that we covered almost all of it, except for about 2 or 3 interviews that I'm sure we could add on.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Or even do a part 2.
Shit, but, yeah, that's Sean Vincent Gillis.
Hope y'all enjoyed, and
we said that we are going to be working on a Facebook page. We have an Instagram up. We gotta post some pictures. We got pictures of all of the 8 victims of Sean Vincent Gillis. We got pictures of him and Terry. We got pictures of him. We got pictures of all of his victims. Now, they are in some low quality graphic photos, but I mean, come on, y'all. It's like 1970 something. They had, I mean, shit. You get what you get.
Right.
Be happy that you're getting it. Anyways, well,
that's the first episode of Southern Sins. Don't hate too hard.
yeah. I'm Lexi.
This is JJ and Copper, and we're out.
And we're out. Press it!
Press what?
Wrong way!